What's good? What's good? It's your boy Brian, the casual Brian, or Brian casually watches anime, and we are live. And you are live with Brian, casually watching anime, or you are casually live with Brian. That's a whole bunch. Let's say we can condense that down. Welcome to Casually Live with Brian, with your boy Brian, the casual Brian, or Brian casually watches anime. There you go. And we're live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. We used to do um, X, and for a brief moment we did Instagram, but I got to go back in and redo my whole Instagram thing. Let me tell you something. I don't know if you guys can see. I am obsessed with Chipotle. Now, a little bit of a sad story here, so just get ready. Sorry to start the live off with a little bit of a bummer. But for the last month, I have been going crazy over Chipotle al pastor chicken. Absolutely crazy for Chipotle al pastor chicken. So good. But today when I went to order it, it was gone. I know. I know. That's life. But see, it taught me a very important life lesson. You think it's going to be there tomorrow. You think you're going to have more time to order the al pastor chicken. But the reality is, just like that, it can be taken from you. And it was taken from me. But they have this new honey chicken, which I've never had. And it's not quite al pastor. But it works. I'm on a massive Chipotle kick, by the way. And it's all because Alex Hermosi. Hermosi? Hermosi? Alex Hermosi? I think it's Hermosi. He said he ate Chipotle for like 2 years straight, every day. Now, I don't know if I could do that. But I dig it. Because let me tell you something. Every single day I get up and I work, right? And I make these videos. And I don't think what people understand with like making videos, it's a bunch of little decisions. So I'm not exaggerating when I say every day I make thousands of decisions. And so this affects everything in my life, especially my relationship. At the end of the day, when my fiance comes home, I'm like, I don't want to think about anything. You know what I mean? I don't want to think about what to watch. I don't want to think about what to eat. I don't want to think about anything. And the same with lunch. Trying to figure out what to eat for lunch. I don't want to do it. But, so, when I'm ordering Chipotle over and over, I know what I'm going to get. And even more so now, I just get the same thing over and over. So another thing I'm doing now, because your boy's trying to lose some weight, when you order on the app, they don't allow you to do half rice, which is what I need, half rice. So I eat, I push some to the side, and then I leave some. Also, I get this extra protein. And I'll eat a little bit of the protein. Not all of it, though. That's the plug. So, here. I have about this much rice left. And So tomorrow I have Chipotle left. Now the thing that sucks is like, hello. The thing that sucks is that the guac won't make it till tomorrow. It's unfortunate, but it's fine. So that was delicious. And not only was that delicious, but I ate it the right way, meaning I'm trying to live in the Japanese style. And so if you don't know about the Japanese philosophy for eating, you don't eat until you're full. You eat till you're about 80% full, maybe even like 75. And it's not easy to do. If you're used to eating until you're full, which I think, if you grew up this way, it makes sense to eat until you're full. Eating until you're full is horrible. One, you feel bad. And two, you don't really, you're overeating because the fullness always comes on after you like eaten for a while. You know what I mean? So if you're eating until you're full, like you're probably eating too much. That's the biggest problem with like America. In America, we just eat too much. You know what I mean? And that could be whatever you're thinking. Too often, too big portions. That's for sure. One of the biggest things that'll change, that'll blow your mind is if you travel outside of America, seeing the portions, especially if you go to Asia. Asia is probably the most drastic version of this, but even outside of Asia, if you go to other countries and you like eat like their food that's not tailored for Americans. So I'm not talking about if you go to McDonald's in Japan, but even McDonald's in Japan is going to be like a smaller portion, just portions, like people don't understand how easy it is to fix portions. It'll take a week or two for your body to adjust, for your mind to adjust. But once you get it down, it's like super simple and it's super easy. And it's just an easier way of doing things. If you're eating like massive portions, then it's like, good luck, man. So, but if you go into the Chipotle store, you can order half rice, which that's what you need to do. Like you need to be aiming to get your Chipotle meals under $650. I think 700 is okay too, but 700 times 3 is 2100 calories. So that's not bad. You can do 700, 600. Those are going to be better. I'm like I said, I'm trying to lose weight. I'm not really calorie counting. I'm aware of the calories that I'm eating. I'm more focused on my proteins or my micronutrients. So I'm more focused on how much protein I'm getting. So that one, I think I ate all the meat, original meat, plus I ate a little bit of this. So I didn't quite hit my 40. I didn't get any cheese. Maybe if I got some beans, that would help with protein, but I just don't like beans. I don't know why. I used to always get, excuse me, hello. I used to always get beans in my Chipotle, but now I don't want them. So I got lettuce. I ate most of the lettuce out. I need to cut up some lettuce for tomorrow when I have this. I need a good solution for reheating the rice portion though. I'm thinking about doing it in the air fryer or something. Anyway, yeah, Americans, we overeat. And but I get it. I understand it. It's like eating is like the secret drug that people like, everyone's like, this is not, but everyone knows it. You're feeling bad. You're feeling down. You're feeling depressed and you just eat like crap. You're on the run. You're on the go. You just eat like crap. We have a million reasons to eat like crap, and none of them are good for us. None of them are really that good of a reason to eat like crap. So anyway, I'm loving Chipotle right now. I don't feel too bad about the Al Pastor because, like I said, I probably have Al Pastor Chipotle chicken at least twice a week for the last 6 weeks or so, or 5 weeks, or I don't know if it was here for a month. It's always weird how things do. Americans do eat a lot. For real, man, we do. It's a crazy thing, you know? And I think most people don't think that they eat a lot. You know what I mean? Like, because we have a thing that's like really bad for us, and that's holiday eating. And when we like have Thanksgiving or Christmas meals or like these holidays, 4th of July, we eat so much. And so that's what people think of in their mind when they think about eating too much. Like that kind of eating, like 2, 3 plates of something, you know. Even a second plate is you're really not there's I mean unless you're like really eating a lot of like protein, a lot of greens, you know what I mean? You can go for as much greens as you want, but like you definitely shouldn't be going for more mashed potatoes or more rice, you know? One thing I struggle with is carbs. I'm a heavy carb guy. But this is the problem. Yo, what's up? It's not so much the carbs. You know what I mean? Carbs are tough to deal with. But for the majority of my life, I've exercised fast, cardio heavy. So basketball, running, I did jujitsu. These are very cardio dense activities. And so I don't have to stress carbs that much. Now I'm more sedentary. I sit, I make videos, I do live. And so when I go to the gym, I lift. Now I got a treadmill and I do a good amount of walking every day, but fam, if you're not like getting those steps, like yesterday I got 11,000 steps. Felt great. Like I could literally feel it in my body. It kind of ignited my passion for doing whatever I have to do to get my car, man. You know, I got to get that. I got to get to the gym so I can get those steps in. It just felt so good. You know what I mean? It just felt so good. Anyway, Chipotle's fire. I appreciate Chipotle. It's not health food. It's healthier food. You know what I mean? That last part is important. The er. It's healthier food. There's better options. There's healthier options, but you can definitely make it work with Chipotle. You know what I'm saying? Like you can 100% make it work with Chipotle. I got a phone call coming in. I'm trying to go switch this bad boy over to do not disturb because your boy forgot. But Chipotle's good. But when I lived in New York, there was a lot of options for like healthier food or healthier options or healthy options. That's the main battle. But then that's a battle of wealth. Like right now, for example, a chicken Chipotle bowl is going to be what? $9, probably $12 if you get like the specialty chicken, which kind of defeats the point of like the chicken because the chicken is cheaper than the steak. So if you want the like cheaper option, you get the chicken, but then you get the specialty chicken, and now you're right back up at the steak prices. You know, what's up with that? You just put a little sauce on it. That's all I'm saying. You just put a little sauce on it, and now you want to charge me steak prices. I digress. But chicken bowl, $9, right? You go to like what is it? Fresh Kitchen. It's like $15. $15 for essentially the same amount of food. But because it's supposed to be healthier, and I've never done the check on Fresh Kitchen. It looks healthy, tastes healthy. It definitely tastes fresh, but is it worth the money? I struggle with the Fresh Kitchen. I think Fresh Kitchen's nice. I think it's tasty. And if I sat down and like did the research and found it to be a considerable amount healthier, I could go with it. But Fresh Kitchen makes me want to meal prep. I'll put it like that. Chipotle, I love it. Simple, easy, tasty, consistent. Every now and then when you order like delivery, like Uber Eats, DoorDash, you'll get it cold. You'll get it messy, whatever. But I've been ordering for goodness, at least from like February, at the very least. And I've only had one order that was just jacked up. They completely refunded me. It was a bummer though, because I was hungry. But it's always good. It's always good. It's always fresh. I do have very close locations to me. So that's something to consider if you're kind of far from a Chipotle, which I don't think anybody really is that far from a Chipotle location. Yeah, but Chipotle's good. It's consistent. I appreciate it. Fresh Kitchen's good too. I like Fresh Kitchen, but I just feel like Fresh Kitchen is expensive. And whereas I understand Chipotle is eating away at my budget, Fresh Kitchen is in my face about it. You know what I mean? Like, I am very aware I'm spending money to eat this food. And it just makes me wonder, like a beet juice, one beet juice from Fresh Kitchen is like $8. I can almost get a Chipotle meal. I can get a whole bottle of beet juice from any store for that price. Why would I pay that? You know what I mean? And that's the thing that I don't, that's the problem I have with capitalism. Capitalism says, make something awesome and you can be rich. And everybody, I think, is on board with that, right? But at the same time, it shouldn't be make something awesome, give it to the people, and then slowly start to drain them over time. What do you mean by that? I mean, like the iPhone, when it came out, it was $500. That was crazy prices back then. It's crazy prices now. But if I believe strongly that if you adjust for inflation, it's not what we're paying now. We're paying because the iPhone is popular. Yes, there is some inflation, but I only think that takes it to about $800. And yes, you don't have to get all the things, but I feel like everything in America is so overpriced and there's nothing we can do about it. And it's not, and it just seems like nobody cares about the customer. I mean, except for like Arizona tea people, and then I can't remember the name. Is it Ben and Jerry's, another ice cream company? Like, bro, why don't people look out for the homies? Netflix. Why is Netflix more expensive? It's giving the same service. I don't know, man. I mean, I because I can also see Netflix's side of the thing. Netflix is like, hey, we're going out and we're making great shows, and they are. Beef, Queen Charlotte, Bridgerton, Squid Games, Stranger Things, even though Stranger Things had a horrible ending. So Netflix is doing their part, but it's just like, just the price, man. I feel like we need like a regulatory system to say, basically to give like an honest and fair evaluation of something's worth, and then saying, okay, this product is worth this much, but because you have such demand, will allow you to go over what it's worth by this percentage. You see what I'm saying? So like, let's say the actual value of a Nike shoe was $50, but because Nike is popular and that Nike shoe is really popular, you can increase the price based on the demand, rather than just saying, I'm going to charge whatever I want to charge because I can. That's our current system. And what happens is you get ridiculous prices. And then people are saying, well, you don't have to buy Nikes. You don't. Nikes is one of those things where it's not like you need it for sure. But there are things that people do need. Food gets more expensive. Gas. Come on, man. Like who determines the price? I feel like gas should definitely be regulated. I feel like gas, I'm not against anybody making a profit. I'm not against anybody getting rich. I am against certain things people being able to profit off of it to a certain way. Like, so what do I mean by that? I mean, gas. I think everybody needs a gas to drive their car, right? And you can say, well, you don't have to have a car. Come on, man. Let's be realistic. Like when people say stuff like that, truly a casual, one of the most casuals. Whenever people say stuff like that, I just know that they're like out of touch with reality. When people say, oh, well, you don't have to this, you don't have to that, or you don't have to get this, that's because you can get anything. People don't understand. A lot of people in our country that are talking, You know what I mean? Myself included. Myself included. I had a good starting point. My parents worked very hard, and now they're in a place where, we that's a good foundation for me. And I'm hopefully going to be able to build on that foundation. But there's a lot of people that are under me, a lot of people. And I'm not saying that to like brag or put me up or put them down. I'm saying that there's a lot of people working 40 plus hours a week and they're making less than me. You know what I'm saying? So like to just tell them people like, oh, you don't have to get an iPhone or you could just take the bus. That's crazy. That's crazy talk. Fam, gas is so expensive. It's so depressing. It's so depressing. It was going down and then it went back up. It's frustrating, man. You know what I mean? Because the reason why it's frustrating and it's challenging is because it makes it hard to budget. And thankfully, I'm in a place where I'm not like check to check per se. I mean, although like each check that comes in pretty much has a home. But when you're budgeting for, let's say, $250 per month for gas, and then gas goes up to $4.19, $4.20, $4.30, that needs to go up almost 40%, So whatever you were paying, now you got to go up. And it just sucks, bro. It just sucks. Like, I'm not one of those people that are like, America was better with Biden or Obama or Bush or Clinton or Trump is destroying the country. I think that he's not doing a great job, but I don't think realistically, I don't think that the average person, aside from this recent conflict, the tariffs hurt. The tariffs hurt us for sure. And I do think that like, I don't know if the tariffs hurt us. I know that the tariffs happened and it seemed that some prices went up. That's all I can say. I'm not an economist. I'm not a money person. I know that the tariffs happened. I know that some prices went up. But I can definitely say the conflict in Iran definitely is a correlation to the gas prices going up. And that sucks because everything is already expensive, I feel like every time I'm doing well, the country and the world is in like chaos. You know what I mean? The last time I was doing pretty good, COVID happened. I was like, what? Come on, man. I have not read this. I haven't even heard of it. What's it about? I'm reading a book by Jim Rome. I can't remember the title of it, but it's pretty good. It's all about mindset. It's all about what I'm talking about right now. And I love it because what he's basically saying is that like, okay, let's say the president sucks. Let's say the economy sucks. Let's say everything sucks. So what are you going to do? No one's coming to save you. You can sit there and complain. I'll give you even better example. Like my views right now are trash on TikTok, on Instagram, and I've talked with the TikTok people and the stuff that they're saying is just garbage. Not my rep. My rep is good, but the stuff that people are saying is garbage. Could I complain? Sure, but why? TikTok's a great platform. TikTok is paying people life-changing money. It's just not doing it for me right now, but it was, and I think it will again. So I can't love the app when it's doing right for me, and I hate it when it's not. Same with Instagram. Instagram owes me nothing. I've done 3 brand deals all on Instagram. That's what Instagram offers. For whatever reason, it blows my mind. People think that Instagram is popular and hot and they want to work on Instagram. So when brands reach out to me, they want to work on Instagram. Even though I have double the followers, almost triple the followers over on TikTok. And TikTok is a very active and trending platform. But TikTok is just, they're making bad choices, in my opinion. Now, I don't know what they got behind the scenes. It seems like they're angling more to work directly with brands, companies, studios, and so on. So maybe, who knows? I never thought TikTok had the money to bring out a program like they did. And that program is kicking butt. Facebook or Meta, excuse me, Meta tried to do it at the beginning of last year and it fizzled out by like April, you know? So we're responsible. We're responsible for our own lives. It's a short 1-volume manga. It's about what someone is going through after their friend. Ooh, can't share that. Yeah, geez, I had somebody that I worked with that did that. And it wasn't so much because I wasn't super close with them, but it just, you know what I mean? I feel like whenever something like that happens, it just makes you stop and go, man, you know, like I've been down before. I've been really down. I've been depressed before. But I've never thought about not continuing, you know, I just can't help but wonder, like, what was like his life like to where like that was like the option. That was the choice, you know? Yeah, I mean, but see, the thing about it is, I think the problem with that kind of talk about only you can fight your battles is sometimes people get into that and they forget that there are outside contributors. There are outside factors. There are people that are trying to hold you back or hold you down for whatever reason. You know, like there are people, unfortunately, who just don't feel like there's enough pie for everybody to get a piece, which is not true. There's enough for everybody to win if you can create. If you can create, or you can excel at a job, a function. You know what I mean? I think the problem with America as it was set up, as it boomed, is that the majority of people position themselves to be cogs and to go work under somebody and not create anything, not learn anything, and only skill up at the bare minimum amount that was required. You know, like for me, every single day I try to learn something. How to be a better editor, how to be a better orator, how to use StreamYard better. You know what I mean? Like I just attended a seminar on how to use the green screen for TikTok. I think that, you know, you if you're not willing to improve yourself, like again, Jin Rohn says, the thing you should work on the most is yourself. You should, if you work harder for your job than you do on yourself, you'll always be needing a job. But, and I can attest to this, if you work hard on yourself, then you can work with whoever. Okay, so I'm are there any anime or manga that you want to? So okay, I've been seeing this word. I have no idea. What does LARP mean? Somebody in the comments, please explain to me, what does LARP mean? This is probably going to get clipped. What does LARP mean? Because I see it all the time. I think it means like it's the new version of glazing. Is it glazing? LARPers. LARPers. That's what I see. LARPers. What does it mean to LARP? Fam, a lot of people are excited for this. This is going to be good. My Hero, man, who that ending season. Wow. It's kind of like ReZero. Like ReZero this season has been going crazy. And like I am not a big ReZero fan. Or I wasn't. It's so this season 4 of ReZero is so good. I'm going back and rewatching ReZero and loving it. Sometimes, man, you just gotta like, I don't know if it's a matter of like watering the seed, or sometimes you just gotta let stuff simmer, or sometimes you just gotta see it the right way and in the right time. Because I remember watching ReZero and just thinking, this is so much work. I don't LARP anything. This is hilarious. This is such a crazy thing. Oh, so okay, now I get it. Now I'm thinking back on all the videos, and it's people saying you're not really watching the series. People are making comments about One Piece or the power system. I don't LARP anything. if I'm not watching it, I'm not really talking about it. You know what I'm saying? Or I'm definitely not presenting myself to be like watching it. I think sometimes if it could apply to this, like caring more or caring, like, so if I don't really care about something that I'm watching, but I'm talking about it very passionately, I might do that if I know that a lot of people care about it. But if I'm not, there's a lot of there's a lot of stuff in anime that I don't talk about that like people are going crazy. I'll give you a perfect example. You haven't seen a single Invincible video from me, and you won't see it because I don't enjoy it. And TikTok themselves wanted us to make videos on Invincible. They have a partnership with Invincible. I don't like the series. You know what I mean? It's gruesome. It's brutal. I'm not saying that it's poorly written. I'm not saying anything like that. I'm just saying it's brutal and gruesome, and I just didn't enjoy it. Yeah, exactly. Like literally, what's the point of LARPing something? Like, there's so much anime. Like, I mean, like, I'm not even exaggerating. I'm not flexing. I'm not doing any of that. There is so much anime for me to watch. Like, I just finished Alabasta with my fiance. Loved it. I'm loving this rewatch of One Piece. So thankful. Rewatching ReZero. Just finished Kingdom. Trying to catch up on that time I was reincarnated as a slime. And then there's just a ton of anime this season. And I'm trying to watch some extra ones too. Like I normally kind of just stick to the main heavy hitters. But I'm watching Marriage Toxin. I'm watching Kill Blue. Kill Blue, I'm getting dangerously close to LARPing because I like it, but I could tell my fiance doesn't really like it that much. So I'm just going to push through and just watch it. And if she wants to watch it, she can watch it. But it doesn't seem like she wanted to watch it that much. Liar Games. What's an extra? What's a side one? The Warrior Princess and the Barbarian King. Pretty fun to me. Pretty nice. Pretty straightforward. T-Bait. T-Bait's tough, man. I feel like I'm wasting my... I feel like there's a lot of LARPing around One Piece. Because I'll hear people, they'll talk trash about One Piece or they'll talk trash about Luffy and then they'll say, but I haven't watched it because it's too long. It's like, what? What are you talking about, man? Do you have an opinion that's just based off of clips you see online? And I guess people do that. I don't get it. I don't get how you can form an opinion about something if you haven't at least watched it. Like I watched like 6 or 7. Gosh, you see what I'm saying? Every time I think of a number, I'm always going to say 6 or 7. Every time. I never used to do that. Maybe we all did that. And that's where it comes from. Like someone realized that people, if you ask them a question that's a number, they're going to say, about 6 or 7. I wonder. Because it's starting to bother me. I'm telling you, 6, 7 all the time. If you ask me something like, what time do you want to meet? 6 or 7. What time are you going to finish work? 6 or 7. How much did you have? About 6 or 7 pieces? There's something there. South Park was on to something. South Park was on to something, fam. But anyway, what was I saying even? Yeah, Lord of the Mysteries. I watched like 6 or 7 episodes before I determined that I didn't watch it. And the main reason why I dropped it was because of the fan base. You know? The fan base was terrible. So snobby. So like condescending. You know? I think they calmed down. I don't know. Apparently people were talking about me in the Reddit. In a Reddit for Lord of the Mysteries, which makes me laugh. Because like one of the big Reddit, not Reddit, but Lord of the Mystery creators, light novel historian, who's a very cool guy. So I went to a TikTok event last year in New York, and he goes up to me and he's like, "You're the." This is what he says to me. He doesn't say hello. He doesn't say, "Is your name Brian?" He says, "You're the guy who made that video about Lord of the Mysteries," and I immediately started laughing. I started laughing so hard, and I was like, "Yeah, that's me. That's me." And then he looked at me like, why would you make that video? I'm like, and I told him, I said, "Hey man, look, I do feel like it was a little bit hard to get into. I feel like I put in a very honest effort because I didn't just like watch it. I don't just watch anything. Like anything I'm watching that I'm going to talk about, I go do additional research. Like I know a lot about which had atelier that I don't know if I'm going to talk about or not because it's spoilers. But I found out some really interesting stuff because these were things that like are interesting to me. So whenever I start down a line of thought, I research it, and I found out about Lord of the Mysteries. I did some research. I heard some complaints. I heard why it's supposed to be really good. I learned about the story. I kind of got someone. I kind of saw some videos where they were doing a breakdown of what was actually happening, and it just wasn't fun to me. You know, just wasn't fun. Wasn't exciting, and the fan base was horrible. You know, whereas ReZero always gave me enough to keep going. There was never a moment. Last season, there was some good stuff in there, like some great fights, but it was always so heavy, always so like hard to follow along. This season has been the opposite. Just payoffs. Just like, thank you for staying this long. Here's a payout. Here's a payout. Here's a payout. Here's a payout. And I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving it. I think I might give Lord of the Mysteries another try. I still have like a lot of anime. I'm not watching anything new until I catch up on that time I was reincarnated as a slime. I also want to see Rent a Girlfriend, but I feel like either I watch Rent a Girlfriend or the flagrant flower blooms with dignity. I want to watch more romantic comedies. You know what I mean? There's got to be a reason why they're so big. And I love like romance in anime. Like I love the romance of Dan to Dan, and I'm trying to think of another anime that has a really good romance story. I enjoy Mao Mao and Jinshi, even though that gets weird at time to time. You know, with his power over her, and then him faking being a eunuch and stuff, and her backgrounds. I'll just leave it at that. You know what? I don't have any problem with you saying it was boring. I thought a lot of it was boring, you know? But I think that the reason why it's boring is because it just doesn't keep attention. And apparently, from people that have read it and watched it, it makes a lot of assumptions. So if you haven't read it, there's a lot of gaps being left out. And that's important. You know what I mean? Like, and I feel like anybody that like gets upset with somebody who watched the anime and then made their judgment based on the anime, they're being unrealistic and they're being ridiculous. If I watch an anime, I shouldn't have to go subsidize that with additional information. You know, I shouldn't have to fill in gaps. If I want to, I can. But if the anime just doesn't tell the story good enough, or because of them choosing this, because they make those choices of what to put in, what to leave out, it's not my fault that if I don't understand, or if I'm missing things, or I'm confused about what's happening here and what's happening there. And that applies to all anime. You know what I mean? So I have no problem with anyone saying Lord of the Mysteries is boring. I thought it was boring. I thought some of it was boring. I thought some of it was fun, but it just, and then there's also the part that Mandarin is hard for me to listen to. So like I watched 2B Hero X. I loved it. I thought it was anime of the year personally. But I only watched it in dub. It's hard for me to listen to Mandarin because I've listened to Japanese my whole life. You know what I mean? So Japanese and Spanish. So I can listen to like a Spanish soap opera and be fine. I can listen to Japanese anime and be fine. But if you ask me to watch something in Russian, and listen to like the Slavic language, it's going to be hard for me to pay attention. Same with any other language, German, and all this stuff. And I'm not trying to be offensive to that language. It's just that like I've been listening to Japanese and Spanish since I've been a kid. So even though I don't speak them fluently, it's natural and native to my ear. Whereas like some of the more harsher or more contrasting languages, like a German, like a Slavic, like, Mandarin. It's just hard. It's just gonna just be breaking up my attention the whole time. Oh, that's right, UFC. I almost never watch ONE FC because of the timing. I've had some friends that have fought in ONE FC, and I've stayed up, or like a couple times it's worked out to where like it was like a 9 a.m. 9 p.m. thing or 10 a.m. 10 p.m. thing. So I was able to watch, but it's hard for me to catch those fights. I really want them to be better and bigger because I just hate the UFC. The UFC just absolutely takes advantage, no, exploits their fighters, and it's awful. Like people don't understand the level of how much the UFC exploits their fighters. I have a friend who has a gym. A UFC is like one of my best friends. He has a UFC gym. He has had like at least probably close to 20 fighters that have come and gone through the UFC, from Mike Perry, Platinum Mike Perry, Phil Rowe, Rodolfo Vieira, Hannah Goldie, uh, Alex Nicholson. I think Alan Nguyen was in the UFC with when he was with them. Jacare Souza was with him. And just like he has more now, Lucas Alexander was with him. And bro, so I've seen these contracts, bro. I've seen these like how they do these fighters. Val, who was like Bull that got served up to Bull Nicholson. That was brutal. Um, it's just they just exploit the fighters, and they look for a certain caliber of fighter too. Like they don't want you to have a career in the UFC, which is like, in my opinion, the biggest problem. Like they don't want you to have a career. They want you to get in there, knock people out, and last from about 5 to 8 fights. That's all they need from you. Get a couple of good knockouts in there, they'll give you a bonus here, 50,000, which is ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. The amount of money the UFC makes versus what they pay their fighters. I'll just put it like this, and again, this is not a dig at the WNBA by any means. I think the WNBA, my hat's off to them for renegotiating their deal and getting a much better deal. Much better deal. It's still not even where it should be, in my opinion, but I think it's an honest and fair step. So the WNBA compared to UFC is not even close. UFC fighters are not making that money. Now, they have the people like Connor, John Jones, now Alex Pereira. There are some people making a big amount of money, but if you look at total fighter pay, it's less than 16% of their revenue. What is that, fam? Well, okay, so the NBA is the top because it's a face league. Steph Curry, LeBron James, you know, Joker, there's faces. People can recognize these faces, like NFL, they don't make as much because it's a faceless league. So people might know the name Tom Brady, but might not be able to tell who he is. They definitely, and I'm talking about the majority of people or the regular person, couldn't pick out Justin Jefferson or Jamar Chase or Emeka. You know what I mean? Like Saquon Barkley. Maybe people might know who he is. Jalen Hurts. Come on, man. Like they know some of these names, but they don't know the face. And it's all the face is the power. Like when people recognize the face, that's the brand. But the UFC, they don't want any faces. And I think part of that is because of Conor. I think that Conor was a good thing for them and a bad thing for them. And John Jones was definitely a bad thing for them. I mean, like, how much money had to go into like keeping John Jones like out of trouble? I named a bunch of NFL players other than Tom Brady. What are we talking? What are we talking about, bro? Like, The revenue split in the NFL is pretty good, and on the back end, their pensions are really good. If you play like I don't know what the number that you have to play in the league is, but NFL is okay. They do good. There's some stuff in ownership and leadership that could be better, but as far as the player pay, it's solid. NBA is the best. MLB MLB is pretty good too. But yeah, UFC is a joke, but it's not even a joke. It's a intentional robbery, you know. And the cards are not that good anymore. They got to spread it out too thin. You get like one or two good fights, and then you're just hoping for somebody to get knocked out. And it's like that's not what the UFC is. Not what it was. But like the UFC, when I first started watching the UFC back in like, God, it had to be like 2004, 2005. It was just like a tough man contest. You know what I mean? Like cats couldn't really fight for real, for real. You know what I mean? And then the cats that came in that could fight for real, were messing people up. Anderson Silva, Lyoto Machida, St. Pierre, George St. Pierre, even Rashad Evans, who oddly enough, he got most of his shine from like striking, but he was a wrestler at Michigan State, fam. You know what I mean? Like, but cats could fight. Like they had like very like expertise, and then the game evolved, and people started learning how to counter these things, and it was really becoming a mixed martial arts. Now it's just like a kind of a sloppy boxing with grappling, if you can, you know. Like I don't like since Khabib and like Islam's another guy who does it. Aljo, he did it really well. No one really has a grappling game plan. You know what I mean? Like Khabib was the best at it. That was a grappling game plan. He just wanted to grind you down to nothing, and it was beautiful to watch. And nobody had any issues. Like how we see with like Max Holloway and Charles Oliveira. Now, mind you, did I think that that's how the fight was going to go? No. Do I have a problem with them changing the rule set to the BMF fight? No, I don't have a problem. You know, it's a BMF. It's an expedition. I can't say the word expedition. It doesn't count for anything. Why can't I think of the word expedition? I think that's the word I'm looking for. It doesn't count for anything. So if you want to make special rules, okay, it's extra. Just pay them well, you know, for the risk, and let's keep it moving. Don't pick a guy with almost if he doesn't have the most submissions in the UFC, he has close to the most. Don't pick that guy for the fight. You know what I mean? Just because Charles Oliveira has the ability to strike doesn't mean he's going to strike. You put Max up there, you know he's going to strike. Everyone knows it. Everybody knows it. But, you know, if I'm Charles, that's what I do. Win and make this money. It's not, you know what I mean? It's like, this is the problem that the UFC has. They don't pay people enough to be entertaining, in my opinion. They pay people enough to win. And you're like, well, what I don't get that, Brian. What do you break it down? If you get, let's say you're on a contract, so you've done good, you've won at least 2 or 3 fights, and you signed your second contract for the UFC. And let's say you're getting like $75,000. So you get $75,000 to show up. If you lose, you don't get a cent more unless you get fight of the night, and then both of you guys get the bonus. If you win, now you get an additional $75,000. So if you go out there swinging for the fences, trying to get knockouts, trying to have an entertaining fight, and you lose, you just lost $75,000. Let's take it a step higher. And in my opinion, that's not enough to be entertaining. That's enough to win. $150,000 means something, especially after taxes, after your coaches, after all the fight camp expenses. $75,000 after all of that is just like, It's okay. It's good. It's probably going to be like 30, 35,000, maybe $40,000. And hey, that's great. You can live off of that. But that ain't enough to go out there and put it all on the line. Now, some people might argue, well, what if you're making like 150,000 to show, 200,000 to show? That's a debate. That's a debate. We can have that conversation. I still say it's not enough. I say it's enough to win, because it's not about how much you're going to get base. It's about what you're leaving on the table for trying to be entertaining. I'm not trying. If I know that I can go out and out grapple somebody and I'm going to win, for sure win, that's a $200,000 difference, a $75,000 difference, a $150,000 difference. What are we talking about? The fight bonus is only $50,000. I mean, I think maybe they might have gone up to $100,000. What are we talking about, bro? Fight to win. That's what the UFC pays you to do, to win. And then if you want to get into like the ranking, the top 10, top 15, you got to win. UFC does not incentivize exciting fights. They got the performance bonuses, but they're all wrong. They're all wrong. Like, you got to go like 75%. If they want to have a real good fight bonus, it should be like this. So currently it's, you get half to show, half to win. Do it like this, and this will solve all your problems. Half to show, right? If you get a knockout, you get the other half plus 25%. If you get a submission, you get the other half plus, you get the other half. If you get a decision, you get 75%. You see what I'm saying? You do that, now there's an incentive for people to go out and win. And you can even determine the way that you want them to win, which is by knockout, which to me is not that big of a deal, because anybody can get lucky. Yeah, but see, Kevin, so okay, what Kevin Holland is doing is grinding that bottom number. So I think Kevin Holland's like on a $150,000 fight contract. So he don't care if he loses all his fights. And the UFC doesn't care if he loses all his fights, because they like him. He's entertaining. He bust out like 6 or 7 fights right when he got in there. You know what I mean? Like, they love that. And he's going to keep fighting for them. And people will keep watching Kevin Holland. I don't know how long it's going to last, maybe 2 or 3 more years. He needs to get some wins in there. But people right now will keep watching him. You can put Kevin Holland against anybody and people are still going to watch it. So it still works for the UFC, and he can just grind out $100,000 a time. As long as he fights 5 times a year, that's $500,000, right? You know, maybe he'll get in a couple of scraps, fights of the night, grab a couple of extra bonuses here and there. You know, maybe get like out of those 5 fights, maybe he can get 2 wins. You know, then he's doing pretty good. But he's just grinding that bottom number. I think you got to have a tier system. Like, I think all finishes should deserve a bonus, a finishing bonus. I hate that it's called a bonus, but I think that there should be work it into the contracts. If you finish, you get this. If you submit and finish, you get this. If you decision this, you know, so you can incentivize people to go out and get finishes. But right now, if it was me, and I think it's the smart thing to do, prioritize winning. You're literally leaving 50% of what you can make on the board if you get knocked out. And that doesn't make any sense. It's not worth it. It's not worth it at all. It's not worth it at all. Yeah, I don't even really watch a lot of UFC, man. I think the UFC, they got super political. And I'm not against people taking a stand on their politics. I think that's everybody's right? That's everybody's right. Like, but it felt like it was very top down. Like, there was a stance at the top, which is Dana's. That's his right. And I don't take anything away from that. But then I feel like there was a memo that went down, and it seemed like all the fighters were on board with one side. It's like, come on, bro. I don't think anybody moves like that. No league. Not all the NBA players are Democrats or liberal. Not all the football players are there. It's a mix. The country's mixed. The people that are fighting are mixed. There was nobody that came out on the left for UFC. It was just like straight up, thank you, president. And again, it's their organization. They can do with it what they want. I just don't have to support it. That's freedom right there. I don't want to cancel the UFC. I love the UFC. I love that it's giving people a chance to make a living. I know that there's a lot of people that want to watch the UFC that agree with that. I don't believe in canceling things. If I don't believe in what they're doing, if I don't like what they're supporting, I take my support away. That's it. That's all we need to do as Americans. If you don't like something, if you think something is not good, you don't support it. Stop trying to make other people not support it. That's where it gets to be a problem for me. Oh, oh, my neck. I'm getting comments from Twitch, but I can't delete them. I'm trying to delete them. Looks like a spam comment. Don't, if you're watching on Twitch and you see the comment, don't click on it. Don't, in fact, that's just a simple rule for any live that you're in. Don't click on links in the comment section. Why would anybody click on a link in the comment section? Like, I'm so serious on that. Like, that's beyond wild. That's beyond crazy. Like, anybody that would do that is a mad lad. Like a literal crazy person. But I do appreciate the comments. I do appreciate the conversation. I love mixed martial arts. I mean, I studied jiu-jitsu. I have a brown belt from Marcelo Garcia. I don't know if I'll ever get my black belt because my gym was in New York and I don't want to get it down here. I don't want to get it from anybody other than Marcelo because Marcelo is my hero in jiu-jitsu. Love the guy. Love what he stands for, you know. But so I love mixed martial arts. I'm a big fan. I'm definitely not going to be watching the White House card. I think that's trash. I think that's complete and total trash. But, you know, hey, by all means, man, this is the land of freedom, bro. Do you make the moves you want to make and then take the L's that you take? You know, if I make a move, if I say a statement and then people like unfollow me, I did something recently and I got a bunch of unfollows. I can't remember what it was, but I was fine with it. You know, the thing about like not understanding grappling is because it takes effort. It takes no effort to like appreciate somebody getting knocked out. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, wow, it looks crazy. Somebody just got knocked out. But to understand like how difficult it is to hold somebody down, to take somebody down initially, and then to hold them down and then control them on the ground, you have to have some experience in fighting. And I just think that a lot of people don't have that experience. And so because they don't have that experience, their appreciation for it is just not there. And you know, that's fine. I don't hold that against people. Like, my appreciation for grappling went through the roof once I started training and then competing. Competing is an even crazier thing. Like, getting out in front of like thousands of people and like fighting another person that's your size and strength and ability it's terrifying. I'll put it like that. It's terrifying. So, yeah, man. Yeah, that's been my life. We're Fortnite Friday on Friday. I don't know when though. I don't know when. I got some stuff going on. So just tap in on Friday. I'll try to put out a notification and let y'all know when I'm going to do it. Then probably going to be like later in the day. But we're going to get it done. Fortnite Friday is definitely happening. It might happen really early. I don't know. I got to find the time. But until the next time, stay casual. Peace.